Hey guys, welcome. It is Monday night and that means that it must be time for Let's Talk About. But there's a big problem, and that is that Kim is still driving back from Sydney. She took Tegan down for swimming, state swimming sports, and she's still on the road coming back. So she sends her apologies. But the thing about Kim is she's never far away. She's not just in my heart, but thank goodness I happen to have a bigger than life-size picture of her. So it's a little bit, it's a little bit uncomfortable in bed, but it's good that she's here with us. So, hey, welcome guys. Tonight we are going to let's talk about products for over 50s, so 50s plus. So let me just roll the music first of all. There we go. Now, I don't know if you can see this, I'm actually wearing my Star Wars t-shirt, which only people who are old will understand. Here we go. It's not the same without Kim here. Let's talk about aging, baby. Oh, getting old really sucks, but hey, there's some good news. Let's talk about aging, 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 aging. Alrighty, thank you, Salt and Pepper. Now, as I said, tonight we're talking about products for the 50 plus. And obviously 50 is now the new 30, which makes 20 the new 10. And I don't know what 10 is, but anyway, it all gets a little bit crazy. But there's a bunch of products which can really make a difference for people who are getting older, right? So, some people accept that as you get older, things stop working or stop working as well. You get some aches and pains and bits and pieces. My policy is fight it as long as you can and don't accept that that is the way that things have to go. So I've got a bunch of products here which I think, well, personally, I find these really helpful. And I think that you will too. So we're going to start off. Some are for men, some are for women, some are for both. But let's start off with the first one, because one of the first things I noticed when I started getting older, in fact, plus 40 was really just, it was a lot harder to get out of bed in the morning. And some mornings I felt like the Tin Man who was in desperate need of some oil. So I want to start with two products that I've found really helpful for that. And the great thing about most of these products is they're actually TGA approved. So that's the Therapeutic Goods Administration. That's the Australian organisation that looks after all those kind of, not medicines, but supplements and all that kind of stuff. So, and if they're authorised, that's a good thing. So that means we can make definite claims about them. So here are the first two. First one is one which I take every day, and that's sulfazyme. And we're also going to talk about BLM. So sulfazyme and BLM, both great things. Now, I wanted to say too that if you go onto the Young Living website, you can actually download some product information sheets about these things. So but here's the information about sulfazyme. Now, we'll start with sulfazyme. Both of these products contain a compound called MSM, which is awesome and it's, according to the TGA, it's great for reducing the symptoms of osteoarthritis. Okay, so that's the primary thing. So sulfazyme, as well as having MSM, it has a couple of other active ingredients. One of them is copaiba essential oil, which again is always great for rubbing on tired muscles after the gym. I rub it on my back sometimes for the same reason. So it's got MSM, copaiba, and it's also got Ninsha wolfberry powder in it. So there's some powerful stuff there. And what we can say is, let me find it here, is that, and it's suitable for vegetarians, which is another plus with this one, but it provides temporary relief from the pain of osteoarthritis. It'll also do great things for your hair and your nails, but that's another story. Now, similarly, BLM also has MSM in it, but it's also got a bunch of other things. So it combines type 2 collagen It's got glucosamine sulfate, which is also provides temporary relief from joint pain associated with osteoarthritis, and it also supports healthy cartilage and joints. Okay, so we're allowed to say that. So that's a great one for as you get older, because those things, cartilages and joints, they need supporting. So it's awesome. Key ingredients, as I said, it's got some Idaho balsam fir in there, it's got copaiba as well, and it's got clove. So lots of good stuff. So two of my favorites right there for those mornings when you do feel like the Tin Man getting out of bed. You can really help with those two things. Okay, so that's those two everyone's going to benefit from. Now here is one for, let's go for one for women. Okay, now obviously I'm not qualified to talk about this other than knowing plenty of women who are over 50, and so that can be a struggle both physically and emotionally. There's all kinds of changes that happen, and so here's something that can really assist with that, and that's called sclerescence. Let me get it right up close there. Sclerescence. Now let me just say, this is great for women who sometimes find themselves getting a little hot under the collar, particularly in that 50 plus age group. And the reason why it works is it has fennel and clary sage, so they're great for balancing both emotionally and physically. It's also got sage oil in it, which is great for calming, and it's got peppermint, which, as we all know, is awesome for soothing and for cooling. So peppermint just by itself can also be great for women who are feeling a bit hot under the collar, but clary sage, this is an awesome oil. Now you can put that on topically, or you can inhale it, diffuse it. They're the options. So and just so you know, it can be substituted for Progessence Phyto Plus. So if you're out of triple P, you can use clary sage. Okay, so again, for women, awesome stuff. All right, let's keep going. Now, this is a little bit embarrassing to talk about, although it shouldn't be, because this is something that affects men. Well, 50% of men over the age of 50 are affected by this. So 50 out of over 50. So it's a common problem, and it's called BPH, or benign prostatic hypertrophy, or hyperplasia. Both of those things, they both mean the same thing. So the thing about it is, it's a benign, so it's not a cancerous, but it's a benign enlargement of the prostate gland. Now that tends to affect men in, well, it can affect us in a bunch of ways, but one of two ways. So depending on how it's enlarged and where it's enlarged, it can either be pushing on your bladder, which means that you end up needing to go to the toilet frequently. You constantly feel like you need to go to the loo. Or it can push on and constrict the urethra, which is where your pee-pee comes out. So if we're going to get technical about this, so that can mean that you're all set to go, but nothing's coming out, right? So both of those things are pretty annoying. And so the next product is literally just called Prostate Health. Okay, it's as simple as that. And once again, there's an awesome information sheet on the Young Living website. So I want to just give you some of the benefits of this. Okay, so the main active ingredient in this, and there's a bunch, but the main one is a thing called saw palmetto. Now that's really interesting because it's been used for years and years and years by Native American Indians for a bunch of uses, but one of them has actually been for men's health and balance. Okay, so that's the active ingredient, and we can say, and let me read this out, we can say that it's traditionally used for its effects on prostate health as an anti-inflammatory agent. Now, one thing that I forgot to say up front was that we had a fascinating speaker at Symposium this year, Dr. Peter Dingle, and if you get a chance to look at any of his stuff, listen to him, it's all online, it's fantastic. But he said that he described aging as something that happened through three processes, basically three things. One is inflammation, one is acidosis, and one is oxidation. So those three things are really what cause all of the stuff that happens to us as we age. So one of the awesome things about this, obviously, saw palmetto, is it has an anti-inflammatory effect, and that's going to help. So it's useful for guys in the treatment, or at least the prevention and the management of HP. Oh man, I got to get those three letters right. Prostate health. Anyway, you get it. So it's an awesome thing. So guys, if you're over 40, and certainly if you're over 50, should be taking that. All right, sorry, got a little flustered there. That's three. That's four. Three. So let me give you another one, and this one is for all of us. With all the stuff that's happening at the moment in the world, and obviously there's some major health issues that people are struggling with and people are worried about, probably the best thing that we can do is just look after our immune health and our immune system. And thank goodness we have inner defense. And this is another TGA approved product. So we can actually say that, let me see here, we can say that it is able to be used for antioxidants. So it's got lots of antioxidants. They're tiny molecules that act as the body's first line of defense. And this is an antioxidant-rich supplement which supports healthy immune function. So we can say that. So this is like thieves in a bottle, okay? It's fantastic, and it will help support your immune system, which is what we all need. Especially as we get older, we can be a little bit more vulnerable to all kinds of things. So again, inner defense, first line of defense, I think, for all of us, not just when you're over 50, but really everyone at the moment. Okay, that brings us to, let me see, I think I've got one more here somewhere. Okay, one more product. I haven't got this one. We actually ran out, so we've been taking it. But Omega Gize 3, let me just read it to you, because again, this is stuff that we can say, and it's awesome. So Omega Gize 3 has 3 core daily supplements. Omega-3 fish oil, it's got vitamin D3, and it's got CoQ10. And you can look up those things, why they're so important. But for us as adults, as we get older, sometimes we can start to get a little foggy and, struggling a little bit to remember things, or, all that kind of stuff that people do struggle with. So Omega Gize 3 is awesome for all this. And here's what it does, okay? Here are the claims that we can say. So it's antioxidant, so it can reduce free radicals formed in the body. In adults, it can maintain and support energy levels in adults. We all need that. Helps to enhance and promote general health and well-being. Awesome. Can maintain and support healthy teeth. Now, there's a whole other issue there for people who are getting older. Maintain and support healthy bones in adults. Maintain and support healthy cardiovascular system. Okay, so this is a big deal. Maintain and support cognitive function and mental function in adults, and maintain and support brain function. Now, so this is an awesome supplement. Once again, if you're over 50, you should be taking this because it's going to help you in so many ways. So it's got lots of good stuff in it. Fish oil, it's got CoQ10, vitamin D3, it's got clove essential oil, German chamomile, and spearmint. So there's a bunch of awesome things. Sclerosants, prostate health, inner defense, and of course my 2 favorites, BLM and sulfazyme. So whether you're over 50 and you are wanting to stay healthier, or whether you're coming up to 50 and you want to stay healthy, or whether you know someone who's over 50, or whether you just hope that you'll get to 50, there's a bunch of awesome products, and they all come from Young Living. They're all naturally sourced, they're all sustainably sourced, they're all ethically made, they all work, and I use all of them. So there you go. We will see you next time Kim will be here in more than just two-dimensional form. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Give me some love down below in the comments. And as I always say, if you've got a topic that you'd like us to talk about, then put it down below and we will definitely talk about that for you. We'll see you next time. Bye.